Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Angry Bird. This is Tyler, your host. I'm going to talk about greed and empathy today. But before I do, I just got down here and I'm sitting here making some notes of stuff I want to make sure I bring home because I tend to miss them. I watch all my videos, and I was trying to make like one or two extra points in within the video, and I was getting to them, and my ADHD kind of kicked in, and I started doing squirrel, and I started talking about something on subject, but like off of my point, and then I go to the next point and I miss it. So today I was making my notes, and while I was doing, on my screen pops up this goddamn post. It says Elon was sharing. Elon shares an X post that Hitler didn't murder millions. I just want that to register because that's what I'm talking about today. Is empathy and greed and what that all means and kind of what you as a citizen and really what we all should be doing as citizens be voting on and thinking about when we go about our day. I don't know what kind of coffee y'all drink, man. I'm stuck on this Super Crema, and the only reason why is because I do espresso shots. I don't know if I can't do regular coffee, man. It's too strong. I don't know what everyone's thinking out there. What? Well, you do espresso, man. Well, the flavor I like, the strong flavor I can deal with. Although I water it down with milk. But it's the froth of that shot. If you've never had it, just try it. Super Crema. I can't remember the brand. It's pretty popular. I think it's Lavazza or something like that. But it really does make for a great coffee. At any rate, let's talk about greed for a moment. All right. Greed greed breeds certain things in people. Um, the first thing it will do is really make you unempathetic. Well, what does that really mean to be unempathetic? Well, if you're unempathetic, you don't look at the humanness of a situation. You look at just the situation and you leave out the humanness. And essentially, you don't even look at whether that person's suffering or not over it or over whatever's occurring or happening. Unempathetic people can essentially make the excuse themselves in their head, why that person's in that situation. So they justify walking by it and not looking, kind of thing. Like there are people out there that look at the homeless and go, they made that fucking choice. Fuck them, and they'll walk on by. And then there are people that walk by the homeless and give them money and go, you know, say a prayer or do something, to try to think, gosh, I want you to know I see you guys here, man. We're trying. And so there's two types, right? There's two types of people that, when they see other people, there's a type that implants in their head that I'm not in that position because I made good choices, and they are because they chose to be there, And then there's the other people that go, society is fucked up. Some of these people have no fucking chance, and god damn it, man, we're trying to get society fixed so we can get you all out of there, And there's so unempathetic people would just, make the reason in their head and, nose up. Oh, I don't see it. You're all peasants, And then there's the other people that go like, God damn, guys, we gotta help these people. What the fuck. So greed stems from property rights. Okay, it just does. And it stems from a position of where you can only lose at this point now. The property rights has gone so out of control that the people in the upper can only lose. They got nowhere else to go but down. They've taken too much. They've tipped the scales. They've gotten so many people impoverished and starving, and just we're gutting the planet, gutting the environment, we're polluting it, and we're doing all sorts of shit. They have nowhere to go but down. And we're essentially going to kill ourselves, if you know anything at all, and you're really educated. We're killing ourselves. We're essentially going to kill ourselves. We're on a path. One-way ticket. So greed has done this. So how do you cover that? If you're a greed-driven person and you're at the point where it's like, God damn it, we want more. We can keep growing, because if you're greedy, right, there's always someone above you. Until you get to like Elon. There's always someone above you, though. You can always look at it and justify why you should have more, because someone else has more too. So you just like justify in your head. I don't care. I can see people above me. I'm not at the top. I can keep getting more then. So on and so forth. Justify it in your head. To nose up and look the other way. Okay? Property rights, when you have all the property, you kind of got all the rights. So in the last 50 years, property rights, you gotta look. You gotta read. You gotta see who's buying what. 90% of us, and it might be a little higher now, but 90% of us, 9 in 10, own 10%, I think, of the stock market. So, every business, walk around, look around. The higher up you go there, so 9 in 10 of us, we own about 10% of everything. So, if you're in the bottom 50%, so the upper 40 to upper 90, you probably got 9% of that. Bottom 50's probably got 1%. So if you look at things, 9 and 10 own 10%, you go, well, it's 10%. It's not crazy terrible, I guess. It don't make sense, though. I mean, think about how many business owners don't exist when 9 in 10 Americans, 9 in 10 only own 10% of the stuff. It'd be different if 9 in 10 owned about 50%. Then you could argue that, there's real opportunity in that bottom 90. I mean, you got 50% of everything. You guys, Point is property rights, eventually, if you keep grabbing more, and you're always getting more money, what happens if you could always get more money? What happens if there's no limit? You just keep buying more and more and more. Everything gets more expensive for the bottom because you're not competing against those people down there, are you? You're not. When you get rich enough, you're only competing against other rich people. You bid out everybody under. So property rights gets out of control and people get more and more and more. Property rights includes ownership of companies. People look at stocks and people look at the Dow Jones and they look at it different. They look at it like a gambling mechanism. They're a guru. They understand. They can read the fine print, know where to invest, and they're timing it. And that's gambling. That's not normal fucking everyday American showing up fucking to work behavior. That is a specific fucking person. And I would argue that people that do that for a living, they come from a different place. They do it because they can make a living off it, sure, some of them. But there's a greed there that people don't all have. All right? It's a property rights. I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. We all want more is the point, man. In a allowed greed society where there's no caps, eventually someone collects it all. If you can't figure it out yet, money is power. And when you don't cap power, someone gets it all eventually. And so you have to. And in a greed-driven society where people make excuses in their heads why other people are in bad spots, you're being unempathetic. You're not trying to solve a problem. You're trying to say, fuck that problem. It ain't my problem. And that is a greed-driven thing. For instance, is it your problem if someone else shows up late to work every fucking day and they lose their job? Is it really your fucking problem? I mean, it's not, right? You don't need to be their alarm clock, man. You don't need to drive to their house and pick them up and drag them to work, right? You're not responsible for that person, right? That's how you do it, right? But what position is that? That's the position of the fucking employer. That's the position of property rights. It's not a position of the human in the situation. So, what causes it? What if the person was late every morning because they're a single mom? They deal with an autistic kid. They can't get in clothes. They chase around the fucking house, scream. They're crying every morning to themselves, trying to get this fucking kid dressed in the car to the fucking sitter, just so she go to fucking work. So by the time they get to work, they're already fucking broken practically because they just fought for fucking an hour and a half wrestling a kid that they don't have any fucking help with. And they're just fucking struggling, man, to get it done. And they're getting to work and they're like, finally, oh my God, my sanity's back. I'm at work. I finally can escape. They're at the sitter. I'm doing my best. They show up. They get fired. You see, I can look at the situation and I can look at it from the employer's side. And I can look at it from the other side. Can you? Because it takes both views to make a real decision. If you always take the employer view, you end up making excuses in your head why this other person sucks. You'll never see that they just needed fucking help. They need real help, tangible fucking help. They're not trying to be late. They're struggling in fucking life. They're not trying to make it your problem where you work. They need help where they're not working. Society judges you by what you do where you're working now. They say fuck all to your private life. You know, there's people that don't, man, but society as a whole is greed driven now. We don't want to look at the impoverished. Why? Generation. You just make an excuse, right? Oh, they don't know no better. They just love sucking the tit of the government. That's why. You know, you'll make excuses. You'll never look at why. When you're unempathetic, you don't see other people suffering. You don't see their situation. You make excuses. Why do you think this DEI thing took off, man? Guys like me are so fucking triggered by DEI. Why? Because at some point, we became so unempathetic, we could only see our own suffering. And I know there's people out there, fucking, why are people suffering? I get it, man. It's so fucking funny when when we come up and start bitching, right? But the economics of property rights is hitting us in the face too now. The economics of the rich grabbing it all is hitting us too now. We're getting less and less too now. We're seeing it now. And what you're fucking missing is that all they keep saying to us is they're stealing it, they're stealing it, they're stealing it, right? So there's a meme out there where there's a fucking mountain of cookies, and there's some dude at the top of the cookie, and there's a table down there with one cookie on it, and there's a dude with a fucking worker hat, and the dude across from him is an immigrant, right? An image of, you know what they're implying. And the guy at the top of the cookie mountain is yelling, "That guy's trying to steal your cookie," and he's got all the cookies. That's what's happening. That's what's fucking happening. And guys like us are hearing it. They're stealing it. They're stealing it. And we know we're getting less. But do you think they fucking educate us to understand? They don't, man. DEI triggers guys like me. All we see is fucking us suffering now. We hear DEI. It makes sense to guys that have no fucking education for some reason. And, I have work experience. And I understand it. I get it. Totally fucking get it. I've seen it first fucking hand. Where somebody gets fucking denied for what color skin they are. Whether it be a fucking server not wanting to serve somebody, or a fucking manager not giving someone a chance walking in the door. I've seen it fucking slice. But you know what? I've seen it slice the other way too. Where you just want free shit because you could pull the race card. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's the facts. I've been a manager, man. As soon as I walk to the table, I've been, called a racist. Just because you didn't want to pay for something sometimes, So, I've seen it both ways. I get pissed both ways. I fire employees for that shit. I fired a manager for that shit. We never judge people except for who they fucking are. And how are you ever going to fucking know if you don't talk to them? If your nose is up in the fucking air and you're looking the other way, you never know who the fuck they are. You're walking by geniuses. You would never fucking know. And in our society, a genius either sells their idea to a billionaire or they fucking have to make it on their own. How y'all making it on your own? I'm just curious. There are guys thriving, okay? I'm not saying you can't. The lion's share of society, the ones making it are making excuses to the ones that aren't. You ain't making it because XXXX. That's being unempathetic. That's never looking at the situation at all. What else does a greed-driven society do? A greed-driven society cuts. Cuts from the poor. Cuts from the little people. Cuts from the small fish. How do they do that? Let me ask you a question. If you had an addiction, a real addiction, should I punish you for it? Honest question. So, cigarette taxes. Okay? That's a way they punish somebody who's addicted. That's a greed-driven tax. They should have fucking made a better decision. Fuck them. Tax. Zero fucks given, zero empathy. Who smokes? They get these kids to smoke, man. They got these kids on fucking vape. Then they finally fucking did something about it. Oh, here's some bubble gum. You know how dangerous fucking cigarettes are? Guys my age that smoke their whole life, you know, fucking it and they dangle it as bubble gum to the fucking teenagers, man. And then when they become adults, you fucking made bad choices, fuck you. You know, and it's like they market it as bubble gum. When I was a kid, it used to be in vending machines. You literally just need quarters to go get cigarettes. You didn't have to have a fucking adult with you. You just had to be sneaky. They made it cool to smoke. They lied about smoking, man, for decades. Oh, it doesn't hurt you, nah, you know. They lied. And we still fucking sit here and tax the people they addicted. Think about these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers made a product, made it fucking addicting as fuck. Addicting as fuck. Sold it as it wasn't, and it was healthy and it was fine, and everybody was smoking, man. It was loud in restaurants. It was loud every fucking where. Everybody was fucking smoking. They marketed it, and everybody was fucking smoking. All these fucking addicts, all this shit. Today, fuck you. You made a bad choice. You stupid. You have to pay taxes now. What is another greed-driven thing? What about the opioid crisis? There was, I can't remember the family name, man. It'll come to me. There's a family that benefited off of all the opioids sold, that addicted millions of Americans, that our current administration is blaming fucking Hispanics, blaming fucking Canadians, blaming fucking Chinese. Our own company dumped this shit into the mouths of fucking Americans, made addicts out there for profit. They benefited. The lawsuits are against the company. The family shielded, the one that collected all the fucking money. And now those addicts, oh, you guys just made bad choices. Oh, you got, our crisis is the Mexicans. What the fuck, man? You see, turn your nose up, look away, it's something else. People that are empathetic see what the fuck occurred. You have to make decisions in life. And you have to understand the powers pulling you. When you're in MAGA and you're in the GOP, greed is driving you. Fuck them. They need to get up themselves. They need to lift themselves up by the bootstraps. Greed is driving you. Property rights are driving you. We should drill, baby, drill. Fuck them all. Our oil companies need to make money. Drill. Fuck them. It's greed driven. Fuck them. Let's get the pipeline right through their backyards. Fuck them. There's people involved, man. You have to lift your nose up and look the other way and ignore their fucking suffering. The empathetic way is to be diplomatic. Can we give you something in return? Do we really need the pipeline? Can we go around it? What? Big oil don't want to pay for a pipeline too far. Come on, it got to go straight through the properties. You see, you guys would back up big oil after lying to you. You would back up big tobacco and tax and fleece the fucking poor they addicted. The kids they're addicting now. You would go tax those fucking people they addict, and you would give a tax break to the fucking company doing the damage. The rich guys, you'll shield them from punishment when the time comes. Property rights. Property rights, man. Greed is driven by property rights. If you're in a society, a real society, where everybody's in it together, there's a cap to how much one can own against another. There's an equilibrium. There's people that are going to be above others, man. That's because they try harder. They show up more. They're smarter. They don't waste all their money on shit. They don't waste. They save. So, but in a greed-driven society, do you know how hard it is currently to get to a position where you can actually live off of someone else? So when I say live off of someone else, I mean like not you don't have to do nothing. I mean, sure, you can do paperwork, make some phone calls, and pretend like you're working your ass off. And I know as a business owner, there's more shit to it than just what I'm saying. But the back-breaking, where the money gets generated ain't coming from you anymore. It's coming from the backs of other people. When you live off the backs of other people, life is a lot simpler. What about 1 million backs? What about 10 million? What about 100 million? What about 340 million like we in our country? At some point, property rights gets too much. And there's only two ways to go, more property rights and less human rights. What laws are they trying to do right now? What are they trying to do? If you look at the Constitution and you read it in the First Amendment, they're violating it. They're saying, fuck you and your human rights. Our property rights trump that shit. What property are they after? They're after Greenland. They're after the Panama. These guys they're greed-driven. They're crazy lunatics. They just want fucking more. They're ready to use the people that they tricked to be their human shields. Yeah, literally. Human shields for them. They got these people under them, worshiping them. And these people are like, we'll do anything for you. And they're twisted in the head, these people, man. These people are the first in line to, they deserve it, they suck, they are. No understanding of what they're fucking talking about. Like, I want you to consider two types of people, man. Two types. There's one type. I'm a super rich bloke, and I don't have to do shit. And I got a rich daddy who can get me out of any trouble I ever get in. I can mouth off to people. I can fucking do whatever I want. I can intimidate. I can bully. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I got lawyers. Fuck you. I'll sue you. Right? And I get out of the military, right? Because fuck that. Suckers and losers serve military, right? That's what he said. You don't believe it? Jesus, man. I can't stand you if you don't believe it. Show me where he cares about one other fucking person other than people in his group. And I'm all ears to you. Until then, shut the fuck up. He doesn't care about you or nobody else. But at any rate, man. This guy who gets out of the military, right? And he's trying to tell you how tough he is. He's trying to tell you how masculine he is. This guy rapes people. He's trying to tell you how fucking tough he is, how masculine he is. He doesn't want those Epstein's files released. He's trying to persona him that he's after that shit. He's after the child predators. He's a fucking child predator, you idiots. So this guy's tough, right? This guy's... But the lady who brings her fucking 3 kids with her across a fucking continent to try to get a better life is a villain. They're villains, man. They're just trying to... That person ain't tough though, right? Think about that. I had a daddy. I got out of everything. I could sue. I'm brilliant. I'm smart. And this lady, with 3 kids, facing rape, untold crimes against her kids, possible death, faces that fucking challenge for a better life. And this guy won't even lace up his boots for his neighbor. Who the fuck would you want next to you? I'll tell you one thing. I'd take the lady all day. I'll take that fucking lady all goddamn day. Compared to this fucking guy who's going to run at the first fucking sign of trouble. Because that lady cares so fucking much. So fucking much. Has a dream in her life so fucking large that she was willing to risk all to obtain it. And this guy, at the first sign of any fucking conflict, is such a fucking coward. Holy shit, man. If you want to write a bad story about, I'm going to sue you. Oh, you're asking me about the Gulf. Get out of my plane. Get out of my White House. You guys all have to worship me or else. Greed driven versus empathy. When you vote and you cast a vote, are you asking yourself the right fucking question, man? Are you? Is it helping you? Really helping you? Can you see it though? I don't give a fuck what they say, man. Punchlines are punchlines, man. Can you read it and explain it to yourself in a manner that it registers, that it actually helps you, man? Or are you for the law because it hurts somebody you don't like? Because, see, this is the twist in this plot. This is the twist. When you're unempathetic, eventually the unempathy gets to you. And it's hard to see it because they keep telling you, enemy, 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 enemy. And you're like, get them all! At some point, it runs out. At some point, it runs out. And when it runs out, you're going to want to be heard. You're going to be like, okay, we got rid of the enemies. All right, guys, let's build society again. And they're going to be like, no, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? Hey, we got a traitor here. You don't get a voice in that world. You don't even fucking see it. You're so happy that they're silencing people you disagree with that you don't see that eventually you're the disagreeer. You can't silence people. That's why you weren't fucking silenced, you idiots. You kept saying, they're censoring us. They're canceling us. The fuck we were. You were canceling yourselves. You're quacking shit that was so whack that it had to be unplugged. We allow free speech. You guys had platforms of it. Rabbit hole talk, fucking shows worth of it. We couldn't unplug it all. You had it. But the moment you turn around and say, you can't talk now because we got some votes, oh, you little dirty little bastards, you know? That's not how it works. You know, in a society of laws, we have empathy because laws protect everybody. When you got 1% of the people in the population saying laws apply to everybody, the 99% below us, and we don't have laws that apply to us. We're above those laws. It's fucking ridiculous, man. These people get off the hook with everything, man. And when you worship it, it's like, oh my gosh, man. Wow. You worship greed. You worship wealth. You worship money. Think about what that fucking even means. I know you'll justify it, though. But no. You don't understand, Angry Bird. They got money because they're so fucking smart, man. What, you don't see it? Oh, yeah, I fucking see it. I see you fucking dumbasses. I see it. The guy's hawking merchandise. I fucking see it. If you're that... Okay, all right, Matt. Name me one billionaire out there. A billionaire. That's like that. that's out there hawking merchandise all the time, selling new shit all the time. Meme coins, crypto, all this fucking hawking you shit. Buy my Bible, buy my shoes, buy my watch, buy. Who does that? You see, billionaires, real people, they got businesses, man. They don't need to convince you to buy shit. You're already buying it. You're already doing it. Con men, man, they got to keep selling because they got to keep it going, man. How do they keep the con? How do you turn off the con? You got to keep it going, because eventually the people you're conning want to get paid, man. Right? You guys are lower prices, lower gas, no new wars. Everything's gonna be great. And now I'm losing my farm. They're firing vets. They're shutting off fucking my medical. And you worship it. You worship the greed of it. You worship schools closing. Fuck education. Look how they radicalized us. They're all woke. Not realizing you're the fucking radicalized idiot. No idea you're the radicalized idiot. Not even comprehending the value of real education, the value of getting people to think for themselves. So y'all want just some fucking indoctrination. You want the indoctrination of children. You want the indoctrination of fucking adults. I want you to think about something that happened in West Virginia just a day ago. They outlawed being like trans. Like, if you come out trans, like, they can jail you or some shit. Read it. It's fucking ridiculous what these people keep, like, think about. I'm an adult, man. If I want to dress in a fucking goddamn diaper, as long as you don't see my fucking privates, man, I should be able to walk around a goddamn pacifier in my goddamn mouth in diapers. As long as I ain't hurting nothing. As long as I'm nice and, The thing is you got this fucking industry, man. This cosmopolitan fucking make-believe shit that never fucking existed. Way back when, man. Now it's like, you gotta wear our makeup, you gotta dress this way and this design. These guys are walking out with deformed fucking faces now, man. These modified fucking crazy faces. Look, live your own life, man. But when you fucking are unempathetic, you're totally okay with rich blokes telling poor blokes how to live. Which books they can and can't read? And you got it all wrong, man. It's coming from the Bible, man. It's coming from our belief. Well, if you can't prove a belief, fuck your belief. Straight up. I can prove those books. Someone wrote them. A real person wrote it. A real person had something to say. The Bible stories? Come on now. How much? Can you even read it? Just fucking read it once. Damn. Some of you guys, you chest thump the shit you heard your preacher say. You chest thump the shit you heard someone else say that's in there, and then you don't even read it. You have no comprehension except what they tell you. And then you act like it exists in there, therefore it's law. You fucking couldn't understand that if you tried, I think. Unempathetic people don't just listen, they just get told and they fucking obey, man. Think about it, man. Think about it. They get told and obey. They're eating the cats and dogs. Fucking echo. Tomorrow they're out there. They are. I know it. I saw a video. Everybody. A guy in California. Yeah, my cousin told me. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried, man. I'm literally in the zone where they're supposedly stealing pets and dogs. Or cats and dogs. It's fabricated. But it don't matter if it's fabricated, because if it comes from a rich bloke, it's true. true. They're all so smart. They look at all the money. When you worship money, you don't see nothing else. Think about Copeland. Copeland, man, that rich pastor, evangelical pastor. Another one just, God, I can't remember his name now, but another one just got caught and indicted for molesting children. Again, another pastor. These people are control fucking freaks, man. These people are freaky on the surface, but they sell themselves as, God touched me and you got to listen, and they keep sending me your money. Greed driven, unempathetic. They don't feed the fucking poor. They don't care about the poor. They care about control. They care about narrative, man. It's crazy. And the reason why it's even tolerated is because the left is empathetic. We understand you want to have faith, and if that's what you want to believe it, fine, What we don't get is when you start crossing the fucking line into our lives. Then we don't have empathy for your fucking beliefs anymore. We don't have empathy for your fucking causes anymore. Because now you're trying to tell us. When you start doing cancel culture shit, it was a hoot. It was a fucking laugh, man. Look at these guys. Look at all the hypocrisy. We're all laughing about it. And then you go and turn around and go, oh, you guys don't have First Amendment now? See, you done fucking crossed the line. You done fucking crossed the line. Empathy comes from a place of human rights. Human rights come from a place of environmental rights as well. It comes from a world where you see things and you want to know the best paths forward to make a good choice. So we collect data and we start making those choices. You don't educate people enough. People don't understand that this stuff even fucking matters. And they start believing that that's lying. That's lying. They're trying to make you believe shit. Isn't that fucking embarrassing? We went and tried to do something right for everybody, right? Collect data so we can fucking make good decisions. So we can see the world through a lens we need to see it in so we can get to where we want to get. And they're just like, it's manipulated data. That's what they want you to think. Climate change is a big hoax. It's a propaganda. It's elitist. It's like, holy shit, what just fucking happened? Are we trying to die? Is that what we're trying to do? And then, if you're empathetic, you want everyone to have freedom. There's a huge difference, man. When you control people, you want ideology and indoctrination. Bible in the school, no trans, no gay rights, no lesbian, only us. Man and woman, we're supposed to be better, whatever the fuck they make up in their head. You think they open up a science book ever? You think they got people in there striving to learn shit? When you're empathetic, you try to learn more. You keep trying to learn. When you're greed-driven, man, you're going to make an excuse and justify all your fucking positions. It won't matter what's true or not anymore, right? You just want more. So how do I get more? Do I got to make something up? Well, fucking, I guess I'm making it up. When you don't want to share, you cherry pick the groups you want to leave out. Right? Well, we can cherry pick a couple of these low-hanging fruits here with really low counts, like trans. You got to be mean as fuck, man, to go after such a low-count population group. Does it really bother you? Deep down, how other people want to live their lives? How does it affect you? I'm just curious. You walk by someone that behaves different than you. How did that affect you, really? That hurt you? Why would you want the government, literally, think about that. You want Big Brother out there. Big Brother, look, Look, right here, this person. Why would you want that person like arrested and detained or some harm come to that person? I mean, why? How did that affect you? You know? You're twisted. You're twisted. You got it all fucking wrong because you've been propagandized to believe that this is some fucking evil shit you're seeing. And what you're seeing is people, if you don't understand, you're trying to see people grip with their view of themselves within society. You see, when you got all your chemicals in the normal 90 whatever percent of us, that the chemical balance is just like A1 pitched perfect genetically, you're going to end up like most of the blokes. If you end up like most of the blokes and you're undereducated, you're not going to understand why someone's different. And then when you're unempathetic, you're literally a dickhead. You're dickhead enough to go write a law to tell that person it's jail if you behave this way. And you're the same assholes that won't wear a mask. You'll jail someone for dressing weird, and you'll fucking go spread diseases. That's how fucking a lack of understanding you have. You'll go kill people, but you'll jail someone for dressing a certain way. Look, it stems from property rights, man. Because they don't fucking affect you. They don't hurt you in any way. It never affected your life. You walk past them every day, all day, you never know you are. It's never fucking affected you, man. And yet, rich people, these super rich church evangelicals, these fucking billionaires, are looking for control, a way to control. And one of the ways they will do it is they will twist shit in a group that ain't educated enough, that they will twist it in a way to make that person believe that oh yeah, no way, we can't allow this. And that fucking person undereducated will never fucking know they're being hosed. They'll never know that by taking away from that person, and then the next group, and then the next group, eventually the group becomes them. You see, you got to be down with everything they're doing. You can't cherry pick a couple things and then go, oh, I'll let this one slide. Because then there's no lines. The line just keeps getting pushed. And eventually that line crosses you. Eventually the line is, here's some cigarettes. It's healthy. Look at it. It's cool. It's allowed everywhere. Don't worry. Oh, you fucking made a bad choice, you idiots. Here's a fucking tax. Eventually it's that. Eventually it's, hey guys, dude, this shit's super addicting. Let's just push it. Everyone's going to want it. Oh man. They make a product super addicting. Food industry, anyone? Opioid epidemic, anyone? When you're greed driven, you don't give a fuck about the consequences of your shit. You don't care. You don't care if you make a light bulb that lasts only 1 year versus a light bulb that lasts 30. What do you think the consumer wants? The 1 year light bulb? The fuck they do. They want the 30-year light bulb. The greed driven guys, like, they don't care about the environment. They don't care about the cost of the consumer. They don't give a fuck, man. They want that money. Sell those light bulbs. Fill the fucking landfills. I don't give a fuck. You guys got to see it, man. Greed driven versus empathy driven. Empathy driven is, let's fucking give these guys fucking 100-year light bulbs. Why the fuck do we keep replacing light bulbs and filling landfills? Smart people see it. Statistics will show it. Greed driven will hide it. We're in a greed-driven society. They're hiding shit in plain sight. They're hiding it right in front of you. They're fleecing the poor, taxing the poor. They're addicting the poor to shit. And then they're punishing the poor, saying it's their fault for being addicted. It's their fault for being poor. It's their fault for fucking everything. And there's people out there, nose up, turning away. Oh, yeah, yep. Those fucking idiots. Oh, yep. Just because you made it, and you made it, doesn't mean you would make it again. Start in someone else's shoes and try it over. When you start in your own shoes and you look at your life and, you made it because of your situation. Look around you. How many in your age group didn't make it? Why? Do you lift your nose up and turn away and go, I know why. They just made bad choices, right? Or can you really see their situation and go, God damn, man. You had a job and a career and everything was going well and they gutted you. They shipped your job off to fucking China. Now you're fucking working in 3 jobs. You can't see it? Oh, well, I can. I can see that greed. I can see the guy thinking, well, fuck, man, if we pay American labor dollars, oh, fuck this shit, man. This is way too expensive. We go over there, we can sell it back to the Americans, cheaper product, they'll all be happy, and we just gut these jobs. And then Americans wonder why their jobs ain't coming back. And they keep signing the same fucking laws, giving the tax breaks to the same fucking cronies, and wonder why nothing ever gets fixed. Because trickle down don't fucking work, man. You don't give the rich people everything and cross your fucking fingers, man. What world does that work in? Think about it, man. Think about it. If I gave you everything, what world does that work where you're going to be like, all right, I finally have enough. Here's some back. You get it? It don't work, man. You balance it through the books or it imbalances itself outright. And we're in that imbalance. And it is fucking outright. I know this is a fucking long ass video, man. But I want to bring this one home. I am empathetic. Not to everybody, not every time. I'm human, man. I wish I was. I wish I was a Jesus figure. But I'm not. I'm human, man. I could look at people inflicting their own pain and go, God damn it, man. Why do you keep doing that to yourself? Like a Trump supporter who owns a farm and 90% of their workforce is immigrants. They fucking know they're immigrants. They know they're undocumented. And they vote for Trump to get those immigrants removed. And they wonder what the fuck. Greed-driven. Greed-driven, man. You get twisted. You don't see empathy anymore. You don't see your own employees as humans. You did when they worked for you. But you didn't when they didn't, right? You looked at your employees like, you guys are great. But when you saw other immigrants and you kept hearing shit, you're like, oh, fuck you all. You're all criminals. And then when you got yourself gutted, you're like, oh, shit. You got to start seeing shit, man. If you come from that place where you're just greed-driven and you think property rights trump human rights, then you're a disease. You are a fucking disease. Because human rights and statistics can guide us. Let's say we're overpopulated. We got to make up some rules. We got to start, deciding how many babies per household, how much per household we're going to allow people to fucking consume and throw away and fill landfills with. We start making decisions. We can start coming up with better plans. We can all start getting along and working together towards things. But when you got a handful of people saying, fuck the rest of y'all, I got it all, I want to burn the fucking world while I'm alive. That's not empathy. At any rate, I love y'all, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you like my content. And I really hope empathy hits sooner than later. Because we all fucking need it, man. Now more than ever. It's like people trying to be empathetic to Tesla, Oh, that poor brand. They don't pay no taxes, man. They get sheltered by us. And they get subsidized by us to exist. And we created the wealthiest man in the world through Tesla. And he's out there ripping us off blind. And there's people out there chest thumping. Let's be empathetic. Oh, poor guy. He's helping us. He's been ripping us off this whole fucking time, man. He's been lying to his stockholders this whole fucking time. He bought his board. He's in trouble this whole fucking time. He gutted the people investigating him. And there's people out there he's helping us. Oh man, he's trying so hard. The fuck he is. He just wants more, man. What else could you want when you're that high up? If you could end world hunger and decided not to, that's who he is. Anyway, love y'all. You guys have a great day, and we'll see how it goes. All right, bye.